Hey everybody, it's Michael Beck, 1010's podcast. I am here solo. Don't worry, I'm not doing any ad reads. I'm just here to introduce some time attack announcing we did for GRIDLIFE Round 5. This is a special episode. It's purely just a couple of sessions of us announcing time attack at GRIDLIFE. There's really nothing else to it. It's not perfect audio. There's a couple of gaps. But we do talk to Sally McNulty. We talk to Cody Loveland. Adam Jabaay's there. He does most of the announcing, if I'm completely honest. But it was a really cool experience. It was a really great learning experience. I feel like Adam Nielsen and I learned a lot about announcing, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to do it again. I feel like we have room for improvement, and we know what we need to change to be better. But, you know, if GRIDLIFE's your jam, if time attack's your jam, you may be interested in listening to this. You may not care at all. It's totally fine. You can skip it. Nobody's making you listen. Just download it and then delete it, so we get the download credit. But anyway, if you want to check it out, stick around. Thanks.
Well, hi, everyone. The Time Attack B/C cars are on track right now. We're looking for Time Attack C/D. All remaining Time Attack cars to grid, please. We need to see the amount of cars that is taking the track. Time Attack will run a little later if needed, if we need 2 more run groups, but I think we can get by with 1 more, judging by the car counts so far. Cars down in turn 11, getting a little bit slippery. We do see anything from Giant Arrow to stock Integras out there. It's a weird morning here at GRIDLIFE Track Battle Round 5.
I think you could say that about most any session around here.
Something's always happening. Got a nice little conga line out there. They're having a good time. Huge disparity of cars out here. What an interesting group. And so far, so good. We're right on the verge of considering this wet records.
Does that mean that record I announced earlier was BS?
No, I think we're good. I think we're
You're
good.
going to call that one? That one's good?
I think we're good.
So what, in your mind, makes you determine if it's a wet lap or a dry lap?
Basically, our only rule is it has to be raining, and it's judged off track surfaces. But you kind of look at the cars down in 12 or in 11 here. That last session, everybody was sideways. To me, that says we got wet records time. So
Or we just got to get people having fun.
That was the least sideways Jackie Ding I've ever seen there. Maybe it is drying conditions. I don't know. He's usually way more sideways when it's dry. Okay, look at that. Jackie Ding hanging it out wide out there, earning his number of 8-6. Yeah, it's definitely wet out there. It's definitely wet. I stood in the worker station at 1 while Joe, the normal worker at 1, was towing David Calzada back to his pit spot. I think he broke a throttle body in the K Miata. But yeah, I got pretty wet up there. It's raining. It's definitely raining. Wow. C and D cars to grid, please. All remaining Time Attack cars to grid. Time Attack scheduled to run until 9:30. I do kind of like wet conditions, though. It kind of brings the urgency feeling down.
For you or for the drivers?
I think it kind of brings it down for everybody. People are just out there having a little bit more fun because it's not all on the line, which sometimes is kind of refreshing. Time attack can get pretty intense, so I don't mind it. I don't mind a little bit of wetness. It does look like we'll have some dry time later today, so...
We're starting to get some times through. Jackie Ding with a 2:02.703. McTeam with a 2:03.839.
Sally McNulty and Luke McGrew out there. We don't know who's driving, but it's McTeam.
Tony DeCero with a 2:08.457. Blake Cameron with a 2:11.435. And Derek Boyd with a 2:12.510. So those are definitely some wet times if we're up in the 2s for this
Yeah,
group.
we're right in the middle of that normal area for the last run group. So Jackie's running pretty good in the wet there, though. Jackie has put a lot of seat time in at Mid-Ohio, which was a very wet weekend for us, and he had a couple of pretty hairy moments at Mid-Ohio we've heard the stories of the car just turning on its own as it hits water on the back straight, and doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
No, that doesn't sound ideal. That's for sure.
Yeah, it looks like McTeam must be Luke McGrew because I see Sally walking up towards the tower.
Hi, Sally.
Sally looking like she's going to get into the spec fit here. No.
Nope, Sally's out.
Sally's from Arizona, so I don't know how she does in this rain. I think she kind of melts like a little sugar cube. Yeah.
Sally, come up here. We'll give you a microphone. It's warmer up
She's
here.
getting shorter and shorter. She's sinking down into the asphalt as she turns into mush. They don't get wet down there in Phoenix.
Jackie Ding making an improvement on...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, moving up to P1, 201.092. McTeam, which is not Sally, 201.875.
Well, we definitely know Sally's not driving right now.
Hey, Sally.
Hola, friends.
Hey, Sally, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
Good. How's your grid life?
It's doing great. I'm having a great time.
It's good.
I really like the fit.
Yeah,
It's a ton of fun.
You drove 2 cars yesterday.
I did. I was super tired.
How is the fit compared to a fast Subaru?
Actually, I drove the Fit, and I realized that it's a ton of fun, and that my all-wheel drive experience kind of relates over to the Fit. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can use a lot of the same elements.
Well, so much of high performance driving is like balancing the tires on the car.
Correct.
And it still has 4 tires.
It still has.
So, is this your first front wheel drive low horsepower car that you've driven on track?
Yes, for sure. It was a lot of fun, though.
You've mainly driven turbo Subarus like your entire track career, right?
I did drive like a Cobalt way back in the day, but I don't remember any of that. So I'm not going to say anything.
Let's pretend that never
It
happened.
never happened.
No one needs to talk about it.
No, let's leave that one in the memories, and it shall never be spoken of again.
No.
I am looking at the weather radar right now, and it does look like the green is working its way north past us, and we should have some dry coming up soon. There is a clump down in Chicago, but it looks like it's going to trend north
That's
of
negativity. We don't look at that.
us. Yeah, how is the rain? This is something you don't see very much in Phoenix.
No. Actually, it did rain last week, which was really weird. I looked at how much rain we normally get, and we got 2 inches in the last 2 months.
Phoenix looks green. Is it not a desert anymore? You have an oasis in the sand out there?
So that was we got some rain. That was kind of weird, actually. But when it does rain, it turns into a flood.
Yeah.
Everything's flooded.
Gets messy, huh?
It's messy. So
I gotta see what Abe wants here. What does Abe want?
So what year is the Subaru you're racing today?
I am with Luke McGrew. We are
Okay.
Team McTeam. And
So-
we are in Street Mod class.
Street Man, what year is that Subaru?
It's a 17.
17, okay.
Luke and I actually have the same car. I have a 17 daily driver, like an STI.
That's your street car.
That's my street car.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool to come out here and drive his car because we essentially have
You
the
can
same
put the
car.
wear on his car and not on your car. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly,
Yeah.
because it is still a Subaru.
It's nice to not have
It's
to
nice
fix it.
not bringing any of your cars out here and
Yeah.
getting to race everybody
Look at
else's
this
cars.
arrive and drive lifestyle. That's how it's going on.
Just fly in, take somebody else's 2 cars
Use
from
up
other
their
people,
tires,
use their
melt
tires,
their rotors.
get back on a plane and leave. Go
Whatever.
somewhere warm.
Bye.
How many mods are on Luke's car out there?
Actually, his car is a ton of fun.
I tech inspected it at Ohio, but I don't remember all what's done to it.
It's tuned on 85. I think it makes like 3, maybe 20 horsepower. And it has coilovers, brake pads, rotors. I think that's about it. So and there's no aero, so it's mostly it's like a street class car only with ethanol. So
Yeah, it's pretty much street class.
Yeah.
And it's also a street car.
Yeah.
Definitely not his Dodge Viper that we normally see. him in.
no. But you know what? I think I'm turning him into the ways of the all-wheel drive, though.
I don't know. That Viper is loud and proud. That thing is fun to
know.
watch.
I don't know.
I think it's at a shop right now getting cams and stuff.
I don't know. It's
so-
getting something.
getting something.
It's getting more HPs.
Maybe they're adding
That's
more
what I know.
cams. Those things only got
Yeah,
one
you
of
can
those.
throw some more cams at it and
Yeah.
get more power.
That's how that works, right?
I don't know. I think he likes the idea of when you're gonna lose it, flat out. When
Yeah.
you want to go fast, flat out.
When
You
the
know,
car's
whatever it is, just
throttle fixes everything.
That's
in the Subaru.
right,
If you set up an all-wheel drive car, is that basic? I've never driven an all-wheel drive car in anger out here.
You should.
Rear-wheel drive,
It's a lot
front-wheel
of fun.
drive. That's my jam. I've walked the track, but all-wheel drive is not a thing I've done.
You should try it. It's a lot of fun.
When it's wet or intermediate conditions, it looks really fun. Is it
is
the
really
best time
fun.
ever?
It is the best time ever.
Things start to go wrong and you just fix it with steering and throttle?
Yeah, you just
that doesn't sound terrible.
floor it. Just floor
Kinda
it.
into that.
We went out in the intermediate class, and he went and rode with me.
Okay.
And I went into corner 1 a little too early, and we got 2 tires off on the dirt on the right side because
Okay.
we entered too early. And he's like, "Whoa!" And I kind of scared him. He screamed like a little girl. It was hilarious.
If you guys don't know Luke McGrew, he's like, Marlboro man, cigarette out the mouth, long, cool hair, and I would love to see him scream like a girl.
Hey, Luke, you want to scream like a girl? Where are you? No, that was really funny though. It was actually, we got it on camera, so you can watch it.
You should probably put it in your YouTube video, your wrap up. Did you have a good time in the dark last night? Did you drive
I
in the dark?
did. I had a great time.
Have you ever done that before?
I have done one night event a really long time ago.
Okay.
Actually, it was a lot more bright than I expected. Had a great time. It was a little bit of a sketch factor, but it was still fun.
A little bit of sketch factor because of the damp, especially. It was
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to mist at the end there.
But it makes it fun though. That was
yeah.
it was a blast. It was a blast. It
I
was cool
was,
to see all the colors and all the lights and all the cool stuff.
I'm looking forward to doing it again because I think that the GRIDLIFE Midwest drivers, if we get a chance to do a little bit of dark sessions there, they will decorate those cars. It's going to look like a chump race out there.
It's
with
gonna be
neons
fantastic.
everywhere. And
People are gonna want to watch that.
disco neons underneath the fits, and it'll be fun.
I was trying to look for the
We'll see
little
if we
valve
get to do
stem
that.
cap lights,
Yeah.
but I was unable to locate them.
I saw one car that had them.
I know.
There was one car that had so somebody won. It wasn't.
Somebody
good.
had underglow too. Did you see that?
Yeah, the
purple
fit
one?
had
Fit.
underglow.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
the
this
GRIDLIFE
one.
fit
It's a
did.
fit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We had the full neons going.
I am hoping for some dry track today. I do want to see some potential
times.
records broken if we can get it. But
Absolutely. We do actually have a record from that last
Got some wet
session.
records
Yep. Jackie Ding with a 159.811.
is that our fastest of the day in the wet so far?
I think that's the
Think so.
fastest of the day. If not, it's very close.
Frickin' Jackie.
But if we look at
Dang.
Jackie Ding's record previously, street rear-wheel drive, we had a 202.817. So that's a pretty big improvement there, 3 seconds.
That's a good drop. It's probably not as wet as when these wet records were set, but that's kind of a hard to judge thing. The track is not dry, but it's also not puddles.
Well, as you said, it's not. I mean, there's not. It's
No
not like a
prizing on the
trophy.
line.
There's
No.
no prize. There's nothing like that.
It's basically
Bragging rights.
fun runs, bragging rights, kind of
Right.
stuff, so.
All right, so it looks like the next session's gone out. They're doing their warm-up lap here.
We'll see any remaining time attack cars. If you are out there and you want to run, now is the time. We have about 15 more minutes in this session. The group C and D combination is out there right now.
When are we running this session too?
It's supposed to go till 9:30.
9:30. Okay. Who's up after this?
We are looking for intermediates, I believe.
Intermediates.
Let's see. I'm supposed to be the guy that knows that. So
Wasn't fast enough on the.
9:30 intermediates. Intermediates, you are up next. We are looking for probably about a 9:35 start time for the 9:30 scheduled intermediate session.
Thanks, Sally. Thank you. Have fun.
Have fun, be safe, don't suck. Don't suck, that's very important.
Don't be a silly goose.
Don't be a silly goose at all, indeed, Sally.
Or a dummy.
Don't be a dummy. And reminder to Time Attack cars, if you are done for the day, you broke your car, etc., please return your transponder. Currently, the best place is third floor of the tower. We can drop it onto the charger. The cooling conditions, we are seeing battery problems with a bunch of transponders this weekend, so head on up to third floor of the tower if you are done for the weekend. Or before you leave for the day, we need all those transponders back if we can.
We'll also try to call out any low batteries for transponders, but please do keep an eye on those as
I think we're probably going to be okay. It's probably only about 10 that we had issues with. It's the same ones over and over yesterday. The problem with these battery transponders is you have to charge them for 13 hours to get them fully charged, and so I've got alarms set on for like 3 days ahead of time. Alarms set on my phone for like 2 a.m. Get up, switch the transponders. It's kind of a dance to keep cycling.
So there's
them.
not a charger for every transponder.
There's
then,
not.
So you got to
There's,
cycle them through.
There's a 30 spot charging case, and Yeah, you got to cycle them through.
This is the life of Jabaay that no one knows about.
Yeah. It's not the most glamorous thing.
That's what I'm saying. The sacrifices that Adam Jabaay makes for all of us.
So my 4-year-old daughter wakes me up at 1 a.m. the other day, fully dressed, ready for the day. It was time to go. Daddy, let's play. And it just so happened that I had to get up and change the transponders anyway, so not a big deal.
Worked out well.
Yeah, it did work out well. Glamorous lifestyle of the GRIDLIFE motorsports director. Looking like a pretty clean session out there. I do see a couple more fits. Maybe we'll get some fit times.
Yeah, as the fit times start coming through, we'll announce those as well. I think we're going to start seeing some timing here.
I think a
very
fit
shortly.
runs about the same time in the dry and the wet. So...
James Kelly just came through with a 2:27.588.
A nice big train of cars here into turn 1. Up there having a good time. Led by a Nissan Juke. Always fun. Tori Skursky from Link ECU leading the train towards turn 3. Good gap behind him. We've got Shilin Wu also. The loudest car at Speedring, probably the loudest car here. Shilin Wu in the V6 supercharged Mustang. He's in turn 3 right now, the yellowish black Mustang. When it comes back around, you will, if you're anywhere near the track, every time Shilin drives past, you get mad at him. It's so loud.
I think the yellow S2000 might give it a run for its money.
They're very close.
That S2000 is very loud.
Both those cars were at Speedring a couple weeks ago with us. The only one that the city of Pontiac called the track mad about was Shilin Wu.
I'm not sure that's like a bragging point.
Is that a goal that people go for?
Not ideal. Not ideal.
It's
but
not
interesting
great for
record.
GRIDLIFE, though.
It's a very loud car. It's very, very loud. Looks like cars separating out, getting a nice gap here. We do have a huge variety of cars in this session again. Bunch of problems with some of the higher built cars. We got Mechanical Advantage Racing out there in the kink right now. Kendall Samuel. I think he did his 3rd engine swap of a GRIDLIFE event this year. The other day, less than a 1-day engine swap. I don't think he even missed any sessions. That Subaru out
So
there.
you're telling me he swapped 3 engines at GRIDLIFE events?
This year, yes.
This year?
Yes, I think so. It's a busy car to work on.
I see that.
It's always being worked on. If you do get a chance to check Kendall's car out, though, really, really cool build. A lot of wild aero and very cool Subaru. And everybody loves the older generation Subarus. I think it's a 99 2.5 RS.
I'd say the S2000 was definitely louder since they were right next to each other.
Alex Moss has moved up to position 1 with a 206.869. Ronnie Solomon with a 210.270. Sheelan in the Mustang with a 214.301. And Peter Zong with a 215.414. Tori in the Juke is going to round out your top 5 with a 219.936. Just a reminder that the intermediate group is up next. You should be making your way up to the grid if you're an intermediate. We'll be starting that probably here in about 10 minutes or so, so about 35 after is going to be when we start the intermediate group.
Yeah, looking for intermediates. That will be followed at 9:50 by advanced instructor. And a note to advanced drivers. Many of the instructors will be out in the next advanced instructor session with beginners in their passenger seats. So if you see them going about 7/10 out there, kind of doing a wet orientation, that is kind of a plan for a lot of the instructors for the next advanced instructor. So be mindful of some of those instructors. They might be having conversations out there. We'll try to gap the advanced instructor session out nicely. But as I said earlier, dampness kind of brings the urgency down. So,
Hey, Sally, can you head back to the tower and grab your transponder, Sally?
so far so good out there in Time Attack C and D. Keeping it clean.
Kendall Samuel bumps up into position 1 with a 202.890. Alex Moss position 2 with a 206.869. Ronnie at 207.440. Sheelan in the Mustang with a 214.301. And Peter Zong with a 215.414. That's going to wrap up your top 5 positions out here in this last run group for Time Attack. If you're in intermediate and you're going to run in this next session, you need to be on grid now so we can get going. We've got about 10 minutes before that session's going to be going out, so please, please, please make your way to grid so we can get going.
We got Cody Loveland here up in the booth. Cody with all the aero and an EG Civic. How did it feel with it in the wet and in the dark and everything yesterday? How did the car do?
Well, the night was interesting because I was following people and I was doing fine, and then I got point buys, and then I couldn't see.
EG headlights aren't that good?
I had 30-year-old headlights. Who'd have thought? And then I went off once, and then I was going to pit, and then I went off again because I got lost.
Literally couldn't see the track well enough with all the lack of light, huh?
Yes. So I went off pretty hard at 7, basically cut over to 10, and bent a control arm in the process.
Just driving around in the dirt.
Yeah,
the biggest aero car here.
Yeah. Well, there's a 98-inch wide swath of grass cut out there somewhere.
I hope you're not billing Gingerman for it. I don't think they're going to reimburse.
No, probably not.
How's the car doing power-wise and traction-wise out there? You said yesterday you've got high 400 horsepower?
Yeah, it was high 400 horsepower, had 0 traction issues, and actually I couldn't even get the car to really break traction because my testicles aren't big enough yet.
What? Speaking of big, how wide are the tires on that thing?
They're 335s.
Okay.
They're a square setup.
A lot of tire. The car under compression with all that aero load, are you noticing any toe change that you know of, or how's the car feel? Because this is basically your first time driving at speed.
Yes, it is. Let's just say you don't want to let go of the steering wheel.
It just gets kind of different, huh?
It's gonna go where it wants to go.
What are the future mods for the car?
Definitely need a good suspension setup. With the amount of spring rate we're running to keep the car off the bump stops or off the floor, which do you see the sparks?
Yeah, the sparks looked great last night.
Yes, they were
Are
fun.
those titanium rub strips or what are those?
Yeah, I built some titanium skid plates off the end plates. That way, when the car did bottom, there's still an inch of airflow underneath the wing, so you don't completely choke off the wing.
Oh, okay. So you don't totally change the aero if the car totally drops.
Yes,
You've got skid plates for that.
If you were to
Makes sense.
smash the
Hadn't thought
wing
about
into the
that.
pavement, you would lose all downforce,
Yeah.
literally all of it, and then you would start porpoising, they call it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. It's one of those things that you don't always think about because it's not something that everybody's got to deal with.
Well, when
Nobody's got the arrow that you guys have.
when you do it wrong, as many times as I do,
Yeah.
you tend to learn from your mistakes.
As long as you're taking notes.
Yes.
You having a good time though?
Yeah, the wet session was fantastic. I was not expecting to be as quick as I was,
Yeah.
and so I gridded at the back,
Yeah.
and I never had a clean lap, so that was cool.
Car been pretty reliable though.
Yeah, I haven't had to do anything except add gas, and now I need a control arm, but that actually improved the handling, so we're just going to run the day with it.
Just be careful with it, please. Make sure it's not going to come apart on us.
If it would have this last
Okay,
lap.
good.
I was hitting 130-ish on the back, and it stayed together. So.
Yeah, I think the car owner is right behind you here, Eric
Yeah,
Streeter.
it's Eric Streeter.
Eric, you want to talk to us quick or no? You're driving a Caterham.
I am.
Yeah, how was that thing?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I had issues with tire temps yesterday, but
Not having any?
yeah, not having any at all.
What does a car like that weigh?
Actually, right now the way I'm running, it's about 1,050 pounds
1,050.
plus me.
That's
so
not that heavy.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
so-
a street-going Caterham originally?
Yeah, originally, yeah, it was actually imported as a racer, but it's always been titled.
Okay.
So I could
So
potentially
it is
drive
a real.
it,
Yeah, well, that's why we allowed it in Unlimited because people drive those things.
Right, yeah, no, it's a
real car.
street
It's a
car. I
production
mean, I have if you need me to prove that I have
No,
a
that's
title,
all
I can
right,
show
that's
you.
all right. The
That car has a Rover.
Yeah, it's a
four-cylinder engine in
Rover.
it?
Yeah, Rover cylinder. Yeah, when I bought it, it was kind of a basket case, but I stripped it down, rebuilt the engine. It's got about 200 horsepower
Okay.
at the crank. So
what size engine is that?
it's a 1.8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got like individual throttle bodies, dry sump, all the fun
That's
stuff.
200 horsepower is pretty healthy, especially
Yeah,
at, 1,000
power to
pounds.
weight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
great.
it's classed as a TT1 car for NASA,
Okay.
so it's got decent power to weight. It just doesn't have any aero.
And you
right? So-
upgraded to a different trans last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
right?
It's
2
got
years ago?
it's got a SADEV 6-speed sequential.
So cool.
So yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Flat shift, blip,
Yeah.
downshift, all that good stuff.
That's cool.
We have intermediates to grid. Looking for intermediates. I think we have most of a grid here. Intermediate A, right?
Getting there. We got a few
Yes.
cars trickling in here behind us as well.
Scheduled 9:30, Intermediate A. Up to the grid now. Track is yours in just a moment. Track is hot. First car out is Red EF. I like Red EFs. I have one of those. Eric, you've built a lot of cars.
I do.
Yeah. Currently you have like 4 projects.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah.
And one of the projects I've talked to you in the past about because I just did a motorcycle engine swap into my sports racer car.
Right.
Was you built a Mini?
I did. Yeah, a classic Mini. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
an old Mini.
1959 Mark One.
And what did it have under the
It
hood?
had a 5PW R1 motor in
Yeah.
it, so real similar to yours.
Front-wheel drive, though.
Yeah, front wheel drive.
Did you have a chain driven to?
Yeah, it was
to a
chain
diff?
driven to a diff. Yeah, like an LSD.
Is that a Quaife diff that you had there?
Yeah, it was Quaife. Yeah, yeah.
The Quaife makes like a sealed diff that you can do that with.
Right. Yeah. It's completely sealed. I mean, it ran dry in basically a custom built transfer box. So
What do you need to do chain wise when you drive the front wheels of a Mini with a bike motor? What do you need? to do with
that was actually one of the things that caused me a little bit of teething problems with it because like tensioners and
Really?
all that good stuff. I mean, I learned quite a bit.
What kind of problems? Was it throwing chains?
Yeah, it was
breaking
throwing
them?
chains. Yeah,
Okay.
throwing chains and grinding up gears. So,
destroying things.
yeah, just destroying things.
The gear on the diff, or
No, actually, luckily, everything, all the differential stuff, I never had to touch. It was
Okay.
all the external,
Okay.
the engine side gear and
Yeah.
the transfer gear. So,
okay. What kind of weight did that thing? have?
actually, that was less than 1,000 pounds. It was
Really?
like 940 or so.
That's awesome.
But
That's awesome.
yeah, it was a torque steer monster though.
believe
I mean, it
that.
would literally change lanes if it hooked up wrong. So
You just floor it and then you just crash into the
Hope
camera.
for the best. Yeah.
Yeah, hope for
Grab
the
onto
best.
the steering wheel.
Just pray.
yeah, it was quick in a straight line though. I mean, it would
believe
do 0 to 60 in like 4.5
Yeah,
seconds
that's
or
pretty
so.
fast.
So-
That is.
And then you
fast.
get the cool things like the sequential because it's a bike motor.
Oh, yeah,
And,
yeah.
you have one other project. Yeah, basically, you're building another Mini right now, right?
I am. Yeah.
Sort of. A Mini?
Yeah, it's sort of a Mini. It's a complete custom space frame chassis mid-engine turbo Hayabusa. So I'm hoping to bring that out to one of the
Bonkers. That would
events.
be awesome.
How close to running is this?
It's actually running.
Okay.
I just need to find the time with
finish
all
it.
my other stupid projects to to finish
Kind
it.
of button
so-
it up, yeah.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
testing
but it's
with it.
like engine dyno. It's like 360 horsepower.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
And
What's
like,
that going to weigh?
Like 1,200 pounds.
cool.
So
No big deal.
yeah, and it's got big arrow too. So
Okay.
maybe not.
Any other work done on the engine of the Hayabusa engine? 'Cause
yeah,
that's a,
yeah,
that's
it's-
a larger displacement.
Yeah, it's
bike
1.3
motor.
liters.
Yeah.
It's got H-beam rods. Nice pistons.
So it's had
upgraded.
had some internal work done
Yeah,
to
it
then,
has,
instead of
yeah,
just throwing
yeah.
a turbo on it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, rear-wheel
It's in the
drive.
back of the Mini.
Yep, yeah.
Is it using any Mini body components? Or
The only mini components are the door hinges. And the steering rack. The steering rack's actually a mini.
It's still a Mini.
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
right, yeah.
Not
So you'll let me run that one
That
too,
is
right?
a super unlimited.
Is that a super limited?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we don't allow full tube frame conversions.
Okay.
You have to have major portions of the unibody or the chassis.
Yeah,
So-
I can't.
Door hinges, not so
yeah,
much.
I can't say that there's much less.
I actually would allow, modified door hinges, but I don't allow that to be the only original part.
Got it. Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying that.
That's full carbon body and stuff?
Yeah, right now it's actually mostly fiberglass.
Okay.
It's kind of a piece together,
Yeah.
thing because I'm going like pretty wild with all the body modifications in the Aero. But at some point, I don't know. Cody will probably help me do
Silly.
a full carbon body on
Yeah,
it.
Cody's getting good at the carbon.
Yeah,
board.
he is. Yeah.
You about 6 months ago or 8 months ago, you said, "Do you know anybody who wants a project?" Because you were looking to unload the hatchback.
Yeah.
The car that Cody's driving.
Yeah, at that point
you
in
have too
time,
many projects.
Yeah, I do. I totally have too many projects.
Yeah.
But
But are you glad that it's now a car?
yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, it's really kind of picked up some momentum.
And it's
a lot of
becoming kind of a
industry
famous little
interest.
car,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. Yeah. A lot of people are coming by and
Yeah.
taking pictures and
It's super unique. You guys did a great job. on it.
yeah. It doesn't look like a Civic anymore, but
No, it doesn't. The workers on the worker radio there, the first couple sessions, they were the winged thing.
Yeah, the
it
winged
was being
thing,
called
yeah.
the winged thing or the black winged car. 'Cause it's
yeah.
hard to tell what it actually
yeah, it
is.
definitely doesn't look like a.
We had to clarify
AEG
over the radio.
anymore. Yeah.
I know it sounds like projects are your thing, and I'm glad you made it out to a GRIDLIFE finally.
Yeah,
man.
no, yeah. It's awesome being out
You
here.
actually did come out to a festival a couple years ago.
I did, yeah, just for like a half day or
Yeah.
something. But
But it's the first time really driving with us.
Right, yeah, and I had the catering with me then, but it was like basically a shakedown.
Did like one lap kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
No, we're glad you came out, and
Yeah.
it's fun to see. Are you taking the caterer out in the damp or no?
I'm thinking about it.
It's got to be a handful.
Yeah, well, it will be because it's a handful in the dry when the tires aren't warm.
I believe it.
I do have some rain tires, so I could I could send it.
You still got to get some heat in those too.
Yeah, I know,
And
right?
1,000 pounds doesn't quite do that. You have no arrow in the car.
Yeah, no arrow,
It's
yeah.
basically and caterums are like driving a brick through the air. They're
Yes,
not, they're
yeah.
not that aerodynamic. But,
Right.
So you're just kind of working on traction to heat up the tires, and you don't quite have much of that today.
No, not today.
It does look like it's stopped raining, though. I'm seeing dry spots underneath
yeah.
where cars are moving, and they're not turning wet looking. So I looked at the radar. It does
a
look
good
like the
sign.
weather's going to trend north of us. So hopefully it stays, that path, and we get some dry sessions. But yeah, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, no, appreciate it.
And we would love to see your space frame Hayabusa.
Yeah, that's the priority over the winter to get
Good.
that thing running. So
At least you got a couple cars running right now.
Right, yeah,
Finish
no,
those
it's-
projects off, and
right.
at least make them run.
right, yeah,
You can kind of park them when you've used them. That's more fun than parking them when you haven't used them.
Yeah.
So.
yep.
Awesome. Well, we'll sign off here. Intermediate is out right now. We need to call advanced instructor to grid, please. Advanced instructor, and a note to advanced drivers. Instructors might have beginners in the passenger seat. Might be showing them some damp line techniques. So use some caution around some of those instructors, especially if they look like they are mid-conversation. Don't bomb them. Don't hug the bumpers. And please use a little bit of caution as they teach the beginners some of the damp line techniques out there. So, thanks, Michael.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Adam.
Let's do more talking.
Let's do this again when Time Attack comes back on.
Time Attack will come back on later today.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Just a real quick call for transponders, Time Attack drivers. We have low battery on 315, 111, 460, and 621. Again, we have low transponder batteries. We need those back at the tower at the 3rd floor on 315, 111, 460, and 621. Please bring those back to the tower as soon as you can. We can get them charged and get them back to you so you can get back out there and have some laps on the next time attack session.
Time to get you guys out. We will probably be about 20-ish minutes behind schedule once time attack is done. I will let you guys know via text updates in just a moment. Time attack B, in just a moment we will have hot times. Looks like the first car out is Charlie Enslin, Hard Times 240. It's actually a Silvia. It's a right-hand drive Silvia SR20. It's a real one.
I don't know why, but I love the way that car looks.
It looks so good.
It's just something about it. It looks so good.
The wide body kit is so cool. The lack of a rear bumper. And if you've ever seen Charlie's racing suit, he looks like the raddest dude ever, leaning against that car with a cigarette in his mouth. It's just...
What's with the suit?
Man, I don't know. It's rad. Charlie's
Yeah?
got a rad looking setup
Like
there.
just a
He's got a cool
interesting
Bridge
color
Moto
combo or
suit.
something?
It's a very
okay.
cool Bridge Moto suit. Kind of a vintage look. I really like his Silvia, though. Very cool car.
I love seeing this Alpha 4C out here.
Yeah, it's not a car you see on
That's-
track very often. You know?
That's what Italian cars look like?
Yeah,
Ah.
by the way, Adam Jabaay, C3
you're
Corvette,
wondering.
not Italian. Alfa Romeo is Italian.
I don't know. There's some lines on a C3 Corvette that just get me right in the pocket, right in the feels.
This coming from a Honda driver, I'm just saying.
You lower a C3 Corvette, they
I
look
think
pretty
you-
good, man.
I mean, they probably took some cues from Pininfarina or something like that.
Yeah, well, so did Coke machines nowadays. But
That's your cheapest. If you want a Pininfarina car, I think your cheapest, or a Pininfarina design, your cheapest option is
Yeah.
a Coke machine.
yeah, the auto mixer ones. Yeah, I like my Diet Coke with a hint of lime. That's kind of a good taste there. Charlie Enslin around in turn 1 here. See that big wing. See what he's got in just a moment. I really, really like Charlie's car. As we were saying, every time he goes around, it makes me happy. Charlie's the best dude, nicest guy. You can't meet a friendlier face in the paddock. Glad to see him out here leading our Time Attack B. Currently, his car, I believe, is unlimited rear-wheel drive.
For Charlie?
Yeah, I'm going to find
Let's
him up
see
on here.
Yep, I'm looking at the queue now.
Yep,
Unlimited
unlimited
rear-wheel drive.
He went to Hoosiers, much bigger wheel setup. And I think he's got Rocket Bunny wide body flares on that car. Big gap stretching between him and that E46 M3 behind him. Car's gapping out nicely. We see Shilun Wu there, the loudest car ever. And we have the driver of the quietest car ever here right now, Matt Williams. What's happening, buddy?
What's up?
You probably clinched Sunday Cup by a wide margin this year.
Yes. I only had to attend every round.
Well, at least you had a good time.
Oh, I had so much
Yeah.
fun.
Dude, he spends more time relaxing and hanging out and having a good time than I would say probably about anybody else here.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
can. But the annoying thing is he can just go out there and drive a blistering lap. You were 2.5 seconds faster than the next fit in that last round.
Very, very
The
well
car
done.
feels really good, and the track feels amazing
Is
right
it
now.
really good right now?
That's my personal best.
I would personally like to see overall records be broken too. So let's cross our fingers that the track stays nice.
Yeah.
How did the track change versus some of the hotter sessions you ran here earlier in the year? It just everything
Personal
feels good.
best. Like, I mean, that's like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the car's rotating right,
Okay.
and it's been beat on this weekend.
Yeah,
I mean,
been sessioning. that
Everybody,
car.
it's been almost
Yeah.
like just a
I walked over
revolving
to it
door
with my
of drivers.
helmet.
Yeah, the Village
and it was gone.
$4,000 bicycle.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
I went to go for a run group earlier, just walking over to my car, and it's missing.
Someone stole it.
Yeah. I get unhappy if I have to come in the pit and like check tire pressures before lighting the grill. That's
Yeah, that would be annoying, having to do all that work to your
so
car.
much work.
Just,
Yeah.
psst, check the tire pressures.
Yeah.
That is maintenance.
But in that session, I learned never to trust Harry's.
Not hurt. No,
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
trust Harry's
So,
lap timer?
Cross the line,
Yeah.
got a 153.9.
Right.
So psyched. And then this little wrench popped up on my dashboard, and I thought, oh no, I
Yeah.
finally figured out how to break a fit.
No, you didn't do
No. So I came in, gave up the session. It's an oil life indicator, and I don't know how to get it to go away. And just to make the matter worse,
You have to put oil in fits?
Yeah.
Man, these
And
things are some needy cars.
and then James high fives me and says 154, and I was like, no.
Oh, no. Looks like we got Chris from Haltech here. Flasher's on. Let's see if he takes the back door. We'll see what he's got. Well, you want to give us a quick rundown of times here?
Absolutely. So, perfect. The first time up here, McTeam, because I've done so well at predicting when Sally's racing and when she's not racing.
Yeah.
With a 140.051. Zachary Ross, 142.67. Charlie Ensign, 144.53.
Tight gap in the top three there. Yeah.
Basically, we're talking about 4/10. Charlie Ensign improves his time here as he comes back past the tower with a 140.040, putting him at position 1. Vito with a 1... Oh, it's changing. Everybody's running real hard in this session. Chris Newman with a 140.335. Vito with a 140.012.
It's bouncing. Sheilin Wu now jumping up, 39.856. Changing all the time.
It is. So we're down into the 139s with Sheilin.
Still kind of an empty grid. Time attack A to
We
grid.
are looking for them, aren't we?
We are. Time attack
looking
A to
for
grid,
them.
please.
All right, so I guess we can probably start to do a top 5, but no, it keeps changing.
Yeah, every time we look at it, it's different.
Currently, our fastest of the session, Sheilin Wu with a 39.856, Charlie Enslin with a 40.041, and the McTeam 40.051, 041 and 051 now. Very, very close gap between P2 and P3. Zachary Ross with a 40.267, and very loud cars going by, and it distracts us.
Chris Newman in P5 with a 40.335. So that's going to round out your top 5. As we edge ever closer to Time Attack Group A. If you're in Group A, make sure that you are in grid. You will be going up here next shortly.
And it looks like Chris from Haltech did get that car back into the paddock, saving the time for his competitors. No tow needed on the yellow Miata. We have had a few spins and a few car problems, but so far the session is underway and the gapping is looking nice. Pretty clean lap so far. Time Attack A, final call. If you don't know it's your turn, I can't help you much. I've told you a lot. Time Attack A, let's do it. Track is ideal. According to Matt Williams, it's perfect. Looks like we're going to be a full session. The Boyd Racing Evo, rounding turn 1 right now. Pikes Peak hill climb car.
Is that where?
Yeah, that comes from Colorado. Yeah, he was
awesome.
He came out for him and crew came out for the speed ring, and then they spent a couple weeks up at Cody Loveland's facility, which is basically a big barn in his backyard, working on aero development on that car. And they've been fighting fuel pressure issues all weekend, so still out there having a good time. It's a wild Evo, but yeah, when it runs well, it's fast.
With the big grill they have on the front of it, I thought it was an Audi at first.
It is an interesting
It's got so
look.
much aero, it's hard to really see those
It's an
cars
interesting
anymore.
look. You'd think one of those larger Evos would be very distinctive. You put enough body panels, wings, and barge boards and everything on it, and it's hard to tell what it is.
Silhouette, right? I believe that's the rules.
Yeah, silhouettes. Well, and unlimited, as long as it's a factory VIN tub, we're usually cool with it. But Chris from Haltech, looking to take another lap here, is ready to sneak out. Probably have about 1 lap left there for him. Looks like he's going to do it. Must have fixed what the problem was.
Yeah, no real changes in our top 5 leaders here as we near the end of Group B.
Yeah, usually lap 3 or 4 is when you get the good ones, and that's proven
Sheilin just
true.
came across, and no change to his
45 that last time around. He seems to be on a high pace cooldown. But that supercharged V6, Sheelan Woo's supercharged V6 is an interesting sound. It doesn't sound like anything domestic. It looks like he might be on a flyer now.
That said, Derek Boyd, just talking about the Evo, is now moved up to P1 with
Very
a
nice.
138.720.
Good, he's finding the pace
Huge
here.
improvement for him, and he's about a second faster than Sheelan now. So we'll see we'll see if Sheelan can
they've
respond.
been struggling with that car to fix this mystery problem. I was talking to his crew the other day, and it just randomly goes from like 75 psi to 30 psi fuel pressure. Data logs aren't showing anything. They had a tough time figuring things out. Hopefully they have, now they can get a nice hot time down. Checker flag is out, so the 38 is probably what he's going to have. Sheelan Woo with a 39.856.
Yeah, Sheelan Woo, let's see here. Coming back around, I think, so we'll see if there's any improvement on his time.
He might be on a flyer. He was really going fast between 2 and 3, put a big gap on the car in front of him, or car behind him. He passed him in 2.
I'd say he's on a flyer.
Yes, he's definitely on a flyer. Sheelan's car is, as we said, a stock motor, supercharged V6. It's a very large blower. I don't know what kind it is. I think it's a Paxton.
He takes it with a 138.050,
nice.
so he is about 7/10 ahead of Derek Boyd.
Here comes Derek. Derek takes it back.
There you go.
Wow.
Big jump.
136.821.
Whoa.
Yeah, very nice.
So about a second and a half faster.
Starting to feel that car out. I like it. I wish we had like 2 more days of this. We'd probably see him well into the low 30s.
All right, so it looks like I think we're getting to the point where we're getting towards the end of the pack here as far as last laps.
Yep.
And then we'll be going into track cool down, and we'll move on to Group A.
Yeah, Time Attack A is next. We have currently our 2 leaders. We're looking at the K-tuned Integra of James Houghton and Professional Awesome Evo. I believe Andy Smedegaard is driving the Evo. And followed up by Mike Puglisi, season-long competitor. And the battle of points here right now is between Puglisi and the car right behind him, that red Corvette, Jeremy Swenson. I believe they are 0.2 of a second different right now overall for the weekend. And this the winner of this session will, I believe, determine the Track Mod season-long championship. They've both struggled at different rounds or not attended. Jeremy Swenson didn't come until the second round. So
before this weekend, Puglisi has 3,317
Yep.
points, and Jeremy Swenson is at 3,309.
yeah, an 8-point difference
8-point difference.
over so far 3,300 available points for either one of them.
There's that's a tight.
They've
tight
both
gap.
excelled at various rounds, and they've excelled in different rounds, but they've been close at Gingerman. It should be an interesting battle, and their times are very close. Also, Puglisi really figuring out that aero and that drivetrain on that Evo. He's really familiar with this track. A lot of laps here, and his car seems to have been pretty reliable so far this weekend. Cross
They're
our
also
fingers.
the track record holders in their respective
Yes.
drivetrains.
Yes.
So,
Very fast cars, solid drivers, more horsepower in the red Corvette. They actually went head-to-head in the bracket battles at Midwest Festival for the finale, and it was kind of anybody's guess who was going to get that. And Swenson went off in 11 a little bit, and that was what gave the victory to Mike Puglisi. So
The Corvette is the most ridiculous sounding thing at full trot.
it's unbelievably sound. It's like unbelievably loud, but awesome.
Right. The supercharger whine, the V8 noises.
The smile on the back of his bumper there, the black smile.
Yep.
I hear the story of that is he lit the bumper on fire too many times
That's
and
what I
kept
was
cutting
told, too.
the burned stuff out.
All right, we are sending Time Attack Group A cars out on track. I'm being told that track conditions are favorable for records.
We'll
and we
see.
have James Houghton. We know that he's on a new set of tires. We know that he's going to be out to try to take.
I hear Pro
basically
Awesome is
to take that
also
record.
on a new set of tires. So
The time we're looking to beat right now is a 123.7.
123.7, our overall fastest time
Yep.
ever
Will All
at
Young
this
holds
track.
that track record.
Actually, no, that's the Gingerman Raceway record. But I don't believe, was that set at Festival?
Yes, it was.
Okay. We did have Will reset our overall record at our Honda Meet event last year.
That was last
and then
year,
he reset it this spring.
Yep.
This summer at Midwest Festival. Okay. Chris Boersma looking slow in turn 4 here, hoping for nothing but good things for Chris. Hopefully he has an okay car. They did swap the trans in that car overnight. It's a common
looking
thing.
good.
Common thing that happens in the Boersma Civic.
They just do it for drama, I think.
I feel bad for them every time, but they keep showing up, and
It really helps their Instagram.
They're the
game.
smiliest people. I just love it, except for Eric Levine, not the smiliest guy, but you know he's in a good mood. He'll make fun of you if he's in a good mood. James Houghton rounding turn 11 right now.
All right, here we go.
And what I believe is Andy Smedegaard rounding turn 11, followed by Mike Puglisi. Yeah, that looks like Andy there. Green flag is out at turn 1. In a little over a minute, we will know. Man, Swenson's car. Oof.
So loud.
So good, though.
Joel Morrison chased by Matt DeRoos, Brad Yonkers, and David Calzada. Sean Krebs back into one right now also, and Josh Orr leading or following that pack out. Mike Almick was in our street mod bracket battles last Midwest Festival, and then Tom O'Gorman won street mod in Speed Ring in that car. He's running turn 2 right now. Looks like chased by Dan Lewis and Dewey DeWitt.
Oh, we have Swenson off in the grass over here on turn 3.
Definitely in the grass.
Near Spectator Hill. Josh Orr just coming around him now.
Joining back on track
Looks like
at
he
least.
got back on.
Yep, he's moving again.
Appears that there's definitely issues with Chris Boersma. He's pulling off track. Here comes Houghton into 11.
James Houghton with a head full of steam down into 11. Sparks off the titanium rub strips. We will see in a moment what he's got. What is the time to beat?
123.7.
125.603.
He's got plenty of space, so he can keep pushing.
He might have plenty of space.
Oh, look at that. Andy in the Pro Awesome
Wow.
Evo, 125.1.
Fastest time ever in that car, 125.160. Very, very nice. Fastest time of the weekend right now, I believe.
Actually, it looks like Houghton's backed off as he goes into turn 3.
Yeah, Andy breaking his own record from yesterday by over a second.
Michael Puglisi coming in with a 132.823,
Very
followed
clean.
by Joel Morrison, the 135.968. Team Donkers with a 137.105.
Michael Puglisi resetting his own record once again
Yeah?
from yesterday.
Okay, that is our new all-wheel drive track mod record.
See if he can continue to whittle that time down over the course of this session.
We do have a stationary car out there off track. Hopefully we are in a good location with that car. Houghton on another flyer. Looks like flashers are on Alex Moss's car rounding turn 5 right now. But he is rolling. He is being chased right now by the Beasts into turn 5, 6.
Closing fast.
Houghton into 5, followed by Professional Awesome. Alex Moss, give them some space. Give them some space. Back way off. A lot of drama in this session right here. A lot of drama. K-tuned Integra being chased by, you can see Smedegar at the top of the wing drops down into turn 10. We will know in just a moment how they do. See Jeremy Swenson into 5-6 combo right now. Car is still underway. He must have not had too bad of an off there in turn 3. Jackie Ding chased by Austin Hurdle around turn 11 here. We'll know in a moment how they're doing. Street rear wheel drive battle. And it looks like Houghton has shut it down. But Professional Awesome into the sand in 11. Out of the wall, stays out of the wall, but now he has
Houghton
continued.
off track as well.
Yep, all the way into turn 11. Wasn't a lot left there. He found all of it.
Looks like a splitter full of sand.
Gonna have to clean that car.
Still ran a 134.
Still ran a 134. That could have been good.
Whipping off.
That could have been good. It does not look like we are going to break our unlimited class record unless James Houghton has the ability to run one more hot lap.
Yeah, it looks like he swung in here fast into grid, so see what his team's plan is.
They have radio communication, so if it was possible for them to fix something or adjust something, they might know before he comes in what it is.
Looks like Chris Boersma getting ready to go back out on track and attempt a flyer.
That'd be nice. We'll see what he's got. Who we got
Jeremy
next?
Swenson
Who we
moving
got
up to
next?
P4 with a 134.413.
A few more minutes left in this time attack
A
session.
134, you said?
Yeah, Jeremy Swenson, 134.413.
Next session out is intermediate. Intermediate, scheduled for 2:40. Current time is 3:03. We're going to be about a half an hour back.
David Calzada in position 6 with a 136.575.
And Mike Puglisi has pulled in.
Looks like they're still working on Houghton's car.
Mike Puglisi's best, a 32.606, a new track mod all-wheel drive record. Very, very fast. Being chased right now by Jeremy Swenson with a 34.413 as his best of this session. Did have a slight off in the outside of 3. Probably ran too far to concrete on the left. He got into the grass on the left. Continued. Didn't look too violent, and he's still circulating. Joel Morrison around turn 11 right now. 9 Lives Racing S2000. He comes all the way from Tennessee. I think he's got a 10-hour drive. And it does look like Jeremy Swenson is on a cool-down lap. He's pitting in. He is pitting in.
Yeah, it looks like we've got some debris on the track as well. Some point after turn 1,
Yep.
Flag is out. And
So we kind of missed this
Maybe
in all the
not.
excitement.
Swenson is still out there. Last lap, a 2:06.
Sean Krebsbach resetting the street mod all-wheel drive record.
36.
136.
What was that
knocking off
previous
the
record?
previous record of a 137.1.
Very nice. Sean's been very quick this year. Ron Spear passing start finish right now. Very loud, very good sounding street rear wheel drive Mustang 5-liter V8. Mike Almick passing us on the tower in the hot pits, followed by Professional Awesome Evo.
There's a lot of sand on that car.
There's a lot of sand in that car. And checker flag is out. That is it for Time Attack. As we see Jackie Ding spin in the middle of turn 2. It's been drama. It's been a session. It has been GRIDLIFE Time Attack. Oh, the session has just given me a headache with stress, and I love it. I love every second of it. We see Jeremy Swenson using all of 11. I think this is our last flyer. Let's see what he's got. Not enough.
Not improving his previous
Not
best.
enough. Mike Puglisi, 2 seconds faster. I believe that secures Mike
Yeah.
Puglisi's position for the year. We will find out in final points tabulation. But fastest track mod all-wheel drive lap we've ever had here was just set. Fastest of the weekend, just set 25. Is that fastest of the weekend? 25.160. Andy Smedegaard in the Professional Awesome Evo. James Houghton at 25.603. What a wild session. All's well that ends well, and we really love the fact that everybody is rolling back into pits under their own power. I believe we do have one tow out on track, but we are now looking for the HPDE sessions to close out the day. Stay tuned to the text updates. I will let you guys know how we fix this scheduling problem. About a half an hour back right now. 2:40 is the scheduled time for intermediate. Current time is 3:07. I would expect us to go hot at about 3:10 for intermediate.